our lead story of the day is regarding Byron Donalds destroying the Democrats as well as the Department of Energy regarding regulating gas stoves. Folks, this is one you're not going to want to miss. Before we jump into any of it, support a true American patriot by hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave us a short, sweet comment down below. The question of the day is, do you think the Democrats as well as the Department of Energy really need to regulate gas stoves? Let us know in the comment section. And if you haven't already, pick yourself up a copy of my book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. You can get it on Walmart, Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, or if you go to baldbrad.com in the description below, you can get yourself a signed copy by me, and I will mail it out to you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Thank you, Chairman. First and foremost, I find it to just be highly disrespectful that the Department of Energy was asked to be here. They're not here. They don't want to answer questions about their own rule, which is going to impact the bottom line and the pocketbook of every American, especially those who own gas stoves currently.
Here.
And
they're not there.
You know, I just find that to just be ridiculous. They must be taking a cue from the president, who doesn't even want to answer questions, doesn't do press conferences, and just is nowhere to be found. I find that to just really be laughable.
Me too, Byron.
To be honest.
Me too, Byron.
Secondarily, this whole gas stoves thing makes no sense. Mr. Stein, I think you were saying in your testimony that roughly only 4% of the current product in the gas stoves market would actually even comply with the EPA's rule. So if you are a homeowner or even a renter and there are gas hookups into the kitchen, what are they supposed to do? Are they now supposed to retrofit their kitchen for an electrical outlet? Because it's not a normal outlet with electric stoves.
Correct.
It is a specially designed outlet for the electric stove in the kitchen. So I would ask the Department of Energy, if they were actually here, what do you expect the American people to do with respect to their kitchen? Are they going to now retrofit their kitchen to allow for an electric hookup to go in there when the house wasn't designed for that? Mr. Delaski, what's the cost on that?
Byron, let me help you here. I'll be the Democrat. Of course they do. They want you to shell out all this money. This is not the only time we've seen it. We see it with electric vehicles. You see in the state of California, where you're not even going to be able to buy a gas-powered vehicle at some point. I think it's like 2035 or some shenanigans like that. But no, they want you to retrofit all this stuff. They want you to pay for it. Not the only time, not just with electric vehicles, right? Where you had the Department of Energy come out and say, well, just buy an electric vehicle and gas prices are through the roof because everybody has $60,000 just laying around. It's insane. You also see that with solar panels. They want you to retrofit your house with solar panels, and now they're going after your gas stoves. You gotta love it, folks. It's insane. It's insane. Again, the question of the day is, do you think we need to be spending our time on this? Do you think we need to be spending our time on regulating gas stoves? That's the Democrats for you, though, folks. That's the progressive left for you. That's the climate extremists for you.
Is that in your research?
The department has not proposed to ban gas stoves.
The department did not propose a ban of gas stoves, but the department is actually going to regulate the fact that most gas stoves on the market would no longer be able to be sold. They won't be allowed to be sold. Only 4%. Do you agree with that, Mr. Delaski?
No, I've seen this movie before. Where
No, Mr. Delaski, this is not a movie. This is reality.
The claim is that...
Mr. Delaski, this is reality. Because if you're going to tell... Let me bring it to you this way. If you're going to tell my mom that she can't have a gas stove anymore and she can only buy an electric stove, but there's a gas hookup in the kitchen and now the kitchen has to be remodeled, and we were renters, we were not owners, which means the landlord had to go and redo that. Do you know what that's going to do to her livelihood? What happens if the landlord says, "Man, I got to go through these massive retrofits. I'm not paying for that." It falls on the back of the renter, which is what does happen. Does that sound like a movie to you? No, it doesn't. I'm not even asking you a question because this is ridiculous. This is not a movie. These are people's lives. And we have the Department of Energy who doesn't even have the guts, the courage to come in here and answer questions about their proposed rule. They'd rather hide in their building down the street than come in here and talk to the American people, talk to the people's representatives.
Nope, they ain't there.
I mean, we do have to fund the Department of Energy. That's coming up in a couple of months. If you can't even come in here and answer questions, why would we fund you? And that's serious.
Damn right.
I'm not even joking around.
Damn right,
This thing
Byron.
is stupid. For Black and brown communities, the cost of actually having to go out and buy a new appliance or to retrofit your kitchen is far more dangerous to your bottom line and to your pocketbook. I'm being honest, far more dangerous. I noticed in the ranking member's comments, she never once mentioned what it would cost a Black and brown family. She didn't talk about that.
Look, I love this guy. I freaking love this guy, folks. I know all of you do as well. Just, can we hit the like button for Byron here? Byron! He's laying down the law, okay? And I would also like to point out what he's doing here, you guys, is he's utilizing a Democrat tactic here by bringing up race. Because everybody's affected by this, right? I'm a white guy. I'm sure we got all sorts of ethnicities that watch the Bald Brad show. We're all affected if we have to go buy a new appliance. That stuff ain't cheap. And by the way, if you got to be retrofit something, that ain't cheap either. Depending on your state, stuff is probably really expensive here. So I love the tactic that he's going here by calling out the Democrats utilizing a tactic that they generally utilize. Love it.
All she's talking about is the fact that the entire Green New Deal agenda may, and I stress may, cut 1/2 of a degree in the world's climate by 2050. And I stress may, because there was a representative from the Department of Energy in the Senate a few weeks ago, and he could not even answer the question that came from Senator Kennedy. He didn't know. He had no answer. He was like you, Mr. Delaski, just going back through the "this is not a movie" or whatever the heck you're saying over there.
Yeah, this guy is so good. I love him, man. Can we get him on the show? I know we're a small channel, but God, this man, a national treasure already, an icon, laying down the hammer.
This stuff is dumb. Listen,
I agree,
what
Byron.
we should be doing is a
agree.
couple of things. Number one, making sure that there is actually cheap and readily affordable energy for our businesses and for our people. Period. Full stop.
Sorry, I got to pause it again because I need your guys. I didn't look this up and I should have. He's talking a lot about kind of private homeowners or renters. How does gas stoves affect the business industry? There's a lot of gas stoves that are utilized in restaurants. I mean, are we just not regulating those and just going kind of after the homeowner? Let me know in the comment section below. Obviously, I'll look it up after I do the recording of this, but I'm really curious. Like, how's it going to affect the business owner? That's to be insane. There's a lot of businesses that run off gas.
Stop. Two, this notion of chasing down the Green New Deal fantasy, which, by the way, half the globe is ignoring. China is not doing this. Russia is not doing this. And the Europeans are backpedaling from this quickly because even the Europeans now understand that they can't live their Green New Deal dreams on gas that they were getting from Russia. They don't.
Remember when they started laughing at Trump? You guys don't want to do that with Russia, okay? They're not good for you. You want the good stuff here, the primo, the premium, the high stuff from America. Don't go with the Russians. Vladimir Putin doesn't care one iota about the Germans, the Italians, the Croatians. He doesn't care at all. I love America, but I love our allies. Don't do this to yourselves, folks. Oh, you're laughing at me. You're laughing at me like CNN does all the fake news outlets. Well, we'll see who's laughing later, folks. When Trump's in his tower, swimming in the green stuff, meaning gold, meaning the money, the good stuff, you'll be sitting there burning wood, cutting down trees, going third world with this. You're a third world country, folks. If you don't have gas, if you don't have power, what are you? What are you? You're going to look like Kim Jong-un. And what's going on in North Korea, don't get me started because CNN's not going to tell you. It's a witch hunt, what they're doing to me. I'll tell you it's a witch hunt. Folks, Byron is killing it. He's saying the truth, and I love it.
Get to do that anymore. So now Europe is backpedaling. We need to get serious in the United States. And if we want to have an economy where everybody's got to be able to earn money in, and we want to have an energy grid that is sustainable, what we can't do are these crazy demands from the Department of Energy and from the EPA. Last thing I'll say is this. If we follow the president's dream and the other party's dream of electrifying every car and electrifying every stove, you know what we're gonna have? We're gonna have an electric grid with not enough energy to turn the lights on. Those are the facts. I yield back.
Not just facts, but common sense, my friend. Well done. Byron is back, baby. It's amazing here what they're trying to do. Why don't they focus on the actual necessities of, like he mentioned, building out an electric grid before you start forcing everybody to do all these things? I live in the state of California. Folks, I've lived here for 34 years. It always gets hot in the summer. It doesn't change, by the way. It's going to happen. Around the same time, every year it gets hot. And you know what they do? They throttle our air conditioning. The state throttles the air conditioning because the grid can't handle it. Hey, can you guys turn down your AC? We can't handle it. We can't handle it. And no joke, hand to God, this just happened like last time it got hot. They go, hey, if you have an electric vehicle, do not plug it in. You can only plug it in during these hours if you're lucky. So they want everybody to buy electric vehicles. The grid can't even handle it. What's there now? And it's not even mandated. It's insane. They don't use this. I'm telling you, they don't use. It's an idea that sounds really good, but they don't want to take the time to see if it's actually feasible or realistic. Everybody loves clean energy, but is it realistic? Is it feasible? Is it feasible? Like, what goes on behind that? I mean, we can do a whole episode here on energy and the shenanigans that go into it. Them mining lithium, basically slaves out there doing that work. And you have these electric vehicle companies that are basically supporting it. You don't even have electric vehicle companies supporting them. You got Apple as well doing all sorts of things. So whole nother topic for a whole nother video, but hit that like and subscribe button, folks, if you haven't already.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.